People, welcome back to Politics Watch. This is Sir P. Now, today I want you to forget about dengue. I want you to forget about the state of so many Jamaican schools, whether it's basic schools, primary schools, high schools. I want you to forget about crime and violence, forget about how rampant gangs are, forget about all Jamaica's issues. Because right now we have finally discovered what is the single biggest crisis in Jamaica right now. People, it turns out Jamaican MPs are not getting paid enough. Can somebody start playing a violin, please? Yes, Jamaica's MPs, 7 of them, decided that they would go to the Jamaica Observer and to plead their cause, to spill their guts and tell us just how hard life is for some of them right now. Apparently, some of them are dead for hungry and can barely make ends meet. As it turns out, the MP salary, right, with no additional state duty, that means you're just an MP, is currently $300,000 every month. According to one of the MPs who was speaking to the Observer, that salary is woeful. They're saying they can barely serve their own needs, let alone the needs of the thousands of constituents that they represent. People, one of them went as far as to say that $300,000 a month is shameful. He went on to say, if it hadn't been for my business, I don't know how I would have managed to function as an MP. People, please, let's get this violin going. We need that violin music in the background, people. Right. Now, this is the part where I had to throw up my rice and peas. This is the part where I had to read it about 10 times to see if somebody can say bare face and dry eye. This MP, who I'm guessing is going to stay anonymous, goes on to state, many of our MPs struggle to stay alive each month. Let me say that again. This is in the Jamaica Observer, so anybody can go read it for themselves, because I don't want nobody to say, oh, Sir P, come run and come make up things and exaggerate things for views. A current member of parliament uttered the words, and I quote, many of our MPs struggle to stay alive each month, end quote. People, do you see how disconnected these politicians are from reality? Do you see the bubble them live in? So, Mr. MP, tell me this. If you're struggling to stay alive on $300,000 a month, imagine your constituents who, none of them probably now make $30,000 a month. Imagine the millions of Jamaica. Imagine the majority of the population that is making nowhere near $300,000 a month. Not even half of that. If you're making $100,000 a month in Jamaica, that's considered a good salary. Right now in Jamaica, you'd be in the 100,000 Jamaican dollars a month would probably put you at least in the upper echelons of earning salaries in Jamaica. But this MP is telling us that him can't make it pan 300,000. So I want you to imagine the rest of the population. And this man probably said it with a straight face. Right? But listen up, people, it gets even better. Because now the Anansi stories are start. The MP goes on to state they spend a minimum half their salaries on petrol bills alone. He says, I spend regularly $150,000 on gasoline alone a month. There have been occasions when I've had to go up to $200,000 on petrol. Now, when you have to spend so much money for traveling purposes, what is left to do other things, end quote. So right there, the Jamaica Observer interview person should have asked him, are you saying this $150,000 gas bill was just to drive to your constituency? Because if it was just to drive and to your constituency and visit your people then that would make you one of the most present MPs in history. You would have to be living in your constituency. The people them last year day in, day out, night in, night out, and we know that is not the case. We know MPs not living in them constituency. We know that for a fact. So this 150,000, how much Mobile trip and Nigel trip, and how much trip to go visit Mistress down the road, including that. This man have the audacity for a ball, right? When there are people in Jamaica who make 160,000-70,000 a month. And out of that, them have to pay a bus fare, right? Them have to send how much picnic go school. Them have light bill, water bill, all kind of things. Right? Out of 160,000 a month. And this man I go tell me, say, out of him 300,000 a month. Him have to pay $150,000 on gas. Furthermore, sir, you need to get a more economical vehicle. People, do you understand how much $150,000 worth of gas is in Jamaica? Anybody who drive a car in Jamaica know a whole heap of gas that. And this is somebody who make regular trips to the country. So no matter where in constituencies that vehicle him have, must be some kind of V8 twin turbo AMG. Right? But it gets even better. It gets better, people. One of them, I guess, forget that this interview was going to be public or something, came out and said this, and I quote, "You can't blame us if a contractor offers us a gift. I, for one, will not go to a contractor and demand money from him. But there are those out there who know the plight that you are facing and want to see how best they can be of assistance. So what would you do? Not take it? I have." End quote. What you just heard right there is a bold-faced, dry-eye admission to taking bribes. Which contractor wake up in bed in the morning and think, oh my God, the plight of the Jamaican MP. The plight of the Jamaican MP is so great I must make a donation. Really, people? I buy the contractor, I buy you out. Furthermore, the reason why him probably get the contract is because him don't know who he sought him out to get it in the first place. So what you're really getting is a kickback. That's what the man does admit to, people. Which contractor wake up in the morning and have all the problems in Jamaica, him think to himself, yeah, we need to sort out these MPs now because they're going through a lot. People, the man does boldly tell us that politicians accept bribe. I mean, it's not news. It's not like I'm surprised. I don't think any of my viewers and subscribers are surprised. But the fact that this MP is going to put it out there like this and even word it like that, to me, just shows you that these people have completely lost their sense of reality, right? Then he's saying, boy, the life of an MP is so hard because you have to fork out money for doctor visits and help bury the dead and assist with school activities and buy liquor at social events, right? And he's saying, oh, enough people don't even want to go to their constituents. He's saying that MPs avoid their constituencies because when them go around there, the people them tax them, right? But you just done ball, say you spend $150,000 on gas, right? So you're avoiding the constituents because you don't want to get taxed. But then you claim you spend $150,000 on gas if you go visit the constituents. Something is not adding up. Which one is it? Are you spending so much on gas because you frequent run there, or you avoid them because them appreciate your pocket? Make up your mind, right? Now, he's saying, because it keeps it, well, every time I read a paragraph and I'm like, whoa, okay, well that's the climax. Oh, it keeps getting better and better, people. This man is saying that the salaries of elected officials should be increased by at least 100%. At least. Because people remember them barely are still alive. Barely. They're hanging on. So the man them must say at least 100%, that's the only way them can survive, people. So instead of 300,000 a month, they'll be going up to 600,000 a month. That's the only way our poor MPs in Jamaica, our poor suffering MPs in Jamaica, will be able to make it, people. How can the Jamaican people be so heartless as to not want to give up another 100% increase in salaries to our MPs? Why are you people so heartless? Don't you see they're struggling? They need it, people. They need 600,000 a month on top of what them already are make. In them other income sources, because the MP not have one income source. There's no MP will sit down in my yard and I depend only upon the 300,000 a month, people. Plus the factor in all the other things that them a thief on the side. Right? And plus the factor in all the contractor kickbacks with them just admit to them I get. People, listen to me. There is a $20 million fund called the Constituency Development Fund where MPs can draw from. You know how much a night, people? It's $20 million annually. $20 million annually. Right? Bruce Golding first increased it to 40 million. Then Portia Simpson Miller reduced it to 15 million. And then Andrew Holness brought it back or increased it slightly to 20 million when they win the last election. $20 million is what the MPs can draw from every year. This is just the basic fund. So that's enough if you go through, for example, any little thing you're doing in the constituency, this is the fund you draw for. If it's something more bigger, then you have to go through Parliament. So that fund is really what they should be going into if they want any little touch up here and there in their constituents. So why this MP even a ball about theme salary, right, should show you what the real motivation here is, because them shouldn't mind people in the constituency out of them salary, because them have a $20 million fund to draw from. So I hope you see what I go on now. This is all down to basic how would I say, this is all down to them just want stuff them on their pockets and increase them salary. It's nothing to do with helping out the constituents. It's not like, oh, we need more money so we can help more people. Right? Them just want a bigger food. Them just want double them salary. Because them have a fund to draw from to deal with the constituency separate. So you might come buy about 300,000 a month. Right? And they want it to go up to 600,000 a month. As I said, people, forget about dengue, forget about crime, forget about roadworks, forget about all those tiny little issues. I hope for the following week you can all spare a thought and remember our poor MPs who are hanging on by a thread. Patreon squad, big up on yourself. Please like, comment and share the video. Bless.